Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201. First, let's do what I'm going to do for the week. So, today's episode is about a full discussion of season 2 of Paradise. Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 1st, will be the Mario Galaxy movie pod. And Thursday will be, or Thursday night or Friday will be the drama, the movie with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Then I think I'll probably be on a break until Euphoria comes out on the 13th. Now, I just received 5 of the episodes on the Emmy for Your Consideration app for Euphoria. I do not want to watch all of them. I want to go straight in because Euphoria is one of the few shows I want to just watch weekly with everybody and not like already be burnt through and be like, just forget about it. Euphoria is one of the shows I am not jumping ahead, right? Same was with The Pit. I got the final 2 episodes of The Pit. I'm not watching those yet either. So let's talk about Paradise season 2. What went right? What went wrong? And what they need to do. So here's the thing. The 2 best episodes of the season were the Shailene Woodley episodes, right? The first one where we, basically the first episode was the whole how we see, Annie go through the day the world ended, how quick she was smart, her meeting Dylan/Link, and then, the episode where she dies giving birth, right? Those are the 2 best episodes of our 8 episodes. The weakest episode, I have to say, is the second episode, which is, when he crashes the plane and we meet the South Park kids, because this is my fundamental problem with that episode is with the South Park kids, is that based off what we saw with the Annie episode of how chaotic weather was for the first year and a half of the after the EMP and the, Antarctica volcano went off, is that based off that, if you were outside, you should have been dead, right? And I could buy adults figuring out how to survive, but from what we're told with the South Park kids, it's been the South Park group by themselves for 3 years. So they should be dead. I don't buy any group of fucking 10-year-olds being by themselves and surviving. This is my fundamental issue with the South Park Kid episode. Then our whole situation is that I mean, I also kinda enjoyed the Mailman episode. I'm still mad Xavier didn't fucking kill Gary, right? Because Gary needs to fucking die. I mean, for God's sake, he almost let a bomb go off in front of Xavier. The fact that Xavier didn't blow his brains out is fucking stupid and ridiculous, and this is also an issue with that. So, that's my issue, and I understand that anytime like, from what we've seen is anytime you diverge from the timeline, you get a nosebleed, right? So, um I guess Xavier was never supposed to be able to leave the bunker and fly a plane, so that was our first diversion, right? And then I guess originally is that I guess Link/Dylan and Xavier are supposed to, I guess, go to Alex and break them because that is like the vision of them walking through the cave bunker. I guess that's not happening anymore because they stopped that, so that was a diversion of the timeline. And I guess Sinatra was never supposed to meet her child again, however he lived or how he split from when he dies, right? Of brain cancer or whatever. How like it's still not explained how that Dylan popped into timeline B, right? Because I guess timeline A is the timeline is the show we're watching, right? Where the volcano goes off and Dylan dies. Timeline B, somehow that Dylan man in the high castle into timeline A. And I guess the way the show ends is when somehow he stops if Xavier stops Alex, we stop the volcano from blowing up. And that is what I'm assuming is supposed to happen. The other situation is that Alex, the AI, is somehow able to send text messages and emails before he is created, which is something I assume is going to be explained in one of the 8 episodes of season 3, because I don't understand how he is able to slip through time with messages to go back, because he's the one that's constantly sending the messages saying, "Jane needs to die, Jane is a super assassin, please kill Jane," and all that. And it looks like also Jane is alive because when the camera pans to the shower in the finale, Jane's not there. So I guess Jane got out the bunker and maybe Jane is gonna kill, fucking Sarah Shawnee's character finally, whatever the situation was with that. This, show needs a second lead because if you, like, watch the 8 episodes, Sterling Brown is barely in the show that has his face on it. And this is what bothered me, is because, like, season 2, like, the way they did the media tours, like, "Oh, this is gonna be a show with Xavier Woodley" I mean, a show about Xavier and Shailene Woodley's character, and that's the journey, right? It's gonna be the 2 of them. But instead, we get an Emmy-winning performance episode that Shailene Woodley's gonna win for episode 1 and I guess 4, right? Just for, like, 2 banger heat check episodes, quoting Bill Simmons here from the Rewatchables, right? And she's gone, and I don't care for anything like the prison bunker, prison world bullshit that was happening in the bottom of the bunker. I don't care about that. I don't give 2 shits about Cal's kids. I don't care about Xavier's kids. I don't care about the new white kid Bean. Like, for season 3, here's the thing. Also, the other Agent Robinson, and not ex yeah, no, what was it? The black girl who was fucking, Cal. I don't care about that either, and this is the issue, is that there's no good second co-lead to bounce off of, because I thought, like, the Xavier Shailene Woodley stuff would have been great, and I guess season 8 may be the Xavier Dylan show with the 2 of them realizing they have to stop Alex or whatever, and maybe Alex begins to throw things at them to preserve his own, creation and safety. That seems to be the case with what season 3 will be. I mean, we're going 3 and out, okay? And if it seems to be we're all assuming that the ending of season 3 will be they reset the timeline, and maybe Xavier and Sinatra are gonna be the only ones who remember everything that fucking happens and all of it. That seems to be the case. I just gotta say, I did not care for the South Park kids. Jane is cool. I like her as this little assassin thing. I think Dylan, if they let Dylan, will be a good co-lead. I'm mad we never fucking killed Gary. And the show was fun and everything, I gotta say, like, it was a fun show, though I gotta say, there's so many because they evacuated the bunker, right, without medical supplies, basically it's whatever they could grab and go. Can the town right away, 2,000 what was 2,500 what is it, 25,000 people are now, like, living in fucking Agora Hills, which is sure, whatever. So I don't know how we're gonna do that. Who's like the new leader? Because remember, Congress didn't make it on the plane over. There's no real leadership. Maybe they'll look to Xavier as leader because it better not be fucking Cal's kid because that kid is not a leader. Okay, at all. I could buy them believing Dylan's leader and Xavier's like vice president or some type of order or this. That is it. Okay, season 2 is fun. They're the 2 episode 1 and episode 4, which are the 2 Shailene Woodley episodes, together are as good as episode 7 of season 1, right? Which was the best episode of television in 2025. Now, here's the thing, is the first episode gonna be one of the best episodes of TV for 2026? This is tricky because the one, what was it? Episode 6 of Night of the Seven Kingdom right now, I think is the best episode. You could argue I'm not putting the Pit Ice episode as one of the best episodes. I think it is. I mean, I don't think it's the best episode of 2026 so far. It could be in, like, the top 10 of episodes. I'm not saying the Pit will be a top 10 show, but that's not the point. Right, it could be like a Euphoria episode, it could be the Boys episode, it could be a House of the Dragon episode. Fallout's finale was pretty great, but I don't think it was, like, one of the like, I'm not really remembering it. Shrinking, maybe they finally kill Harrison Ford tomorrow, I don't know. For spoilers, Harrison Ford has Parkinson's and Shrinking, and it looks like he's finally about to die. But that is it, okay? So remember, that's what I thought about Paradise Season 2. Not a lot happened. Fuck the South Park kids. We should have killed Gary. Xavier needs a co-lead. Mario will be tomorrow. The drama will be Thursday.